welcome back to the video. Today we're gonna be reacting to how to beat islands of giant insects from how to beat anime. You guys check out how to beat anime. The channel is gonna be linked down below. So let's get started.
You and your friends are stuck on a deserted island with giant murderous bugs hunting you down. All these monstrous little insects want to do is to hunt you for sport, drain your blood, and eat you alive. What do? I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat Island of Giant Insects. Okay, this girl here is a high school student. Her name is Mutsumi, and she wakes up disoriented on a deserted beach and realizes that her plane crashed. Well, that sucks. But doesn't seem like anybody else survived. She panics, grabs her bag, and takes off into the woods. Okay, don't do this! Tropical forests contain dangerous wildlife, predators, poisonous plants, and this girl doesn't even have a plan to build a shelter. Duh! The safest bet would be to go back to the crash site to look for resources, because that's smart, especially bottled water. A human can survive for weeks without food, but they'll die within 3 days without any water. So you need water. Considering that there were not many people boarding this flight in the first place, we can assume there's going to be leftover bottles around the plane ruins. I would also keep an eye out and search these bags for dry clothes and for any kind of sharp object. As she's running into the woods like a headless chicken, stupid! She's stopped by this girl, Ayumi, who goes to her school. They reunite. Oh, good, we have friends again. And the girl tells her that she looked around, but the island seems deserted. Yeah, no kidding. She did find a lighter, a knife, and a bottle of hairspray. These are gonna come in handy later, but something is clearly wrong. Mutsumi here mentions that this forest is deadly quiet. Okay, this is really unusual since they are in the middle of a jungle. Howler monkeys and birds make some of the loudest noises. You telling me they aren't hearing a single frog, cicada, or even a damn bird or monkey? What? These two should be swarmed by wildlife and insects and all the nasty critters that I just love avoiding. But it's dead quiet. Spooky. But if we're not hearing any sounds, it means there's something wrong with this ecosystem. Worse yet, their phones are soaked, so they have no way to communicate with the outside world or with each other. And with them being high school students, I won't expect them to be able to build a radio anytime soon with the supplies available. Okay, these two suddenly hear a scream in the distance and rush towards the sound. They reach this field and see two giant butterflies flying over them. You're thinking, oh cool, great, they're butterflies, cute and cuddly giant butterflies. And they're huge. Problem, these flying nightmares are preying on this girl and are in the process of draining her blood. And I'd be like, okay, let's leave. But that's not enough. These two schoolgirls realize insects are still hungry after finishing their meal and are moving on to the next victim. Hope it's not me. Okay. This is terrifying. This bug has sucked the blood out of my friends, and it's not even done. The smallest mistake here will be fatal, and if I want to beat it, I need to know everything about it. This butterfly is huge. It's probably like the size of a freaking helicopter, but we can assume that it will have the same behaviors and features as a normal-sized butterfly, where I would squash it with my hands. Butterflies are able to detect ground vibrations caused by mammals. They also have many eyes in two main spots that give them a wide field of vision, and they feed exclusively on liquids and uses their senses to smell nectar, or in this case, blood and sweat. If it's me, I'm realizing here that I can't defeat this monster without a weapon, even if I'm going to take the risk with what I had, which is nothing. There's no hope for these people anyways, so I'm slowly backing away from the scene to avoid creating any large vibrations in the air, and would use the water I had saved from the crash site because I am smart, not dumb like them, and mix it with dirt to make a paste and cover myself. This way I will hide my scent to avoid their smell detection of me and allow me to escape to a safe place. Assuming I find one. But Ayumi here decides to rush in like Captain America with a frickin' knife and tries to stop the butterfly, which fails. Quickly and somehow miraculously, Mutsumi here lights a lighter and sprays the hairspray in the direction of the butterfly. She sets it on fire and the butterfly burns to death while the other one flies away. Whoa, pull up the fire on that hairspray. Look at that thing. That's not realistic at all. You have a tiny spray can and it put out a flame enough to cover the size of a helicopter-sized butterfly. Right about now, it should be clear that there's something clearly wrong with this island and I would want to leave. And staying in the woods was not safe. The idea to burn the butterfly was great. Not realistic, but good for them, and it actually worked. But they should definitely be heading to the beach now, which they don't, or at the very least, since butterflies are the lowest part of the food chain, and we've just killed a giant butterfly, I'm taking any body part I can from the dead insect to use as bait, and also maybe, armor? A while later, our Mutsumi girl groups up with more students, yay, more people, to use as meat shields so I don't die. And explains they should wait for the self-defense force to find and save them. The group then hears the noise of a helicopter. They start running towards it, but they're wrong again. A giant killer wasp appears in their path.
I just realized I'm recording.
The butterflies they just escaped from. This time it's a mud wasp, so you're in for a real sting. Get it? Mud. Anyways, they're called mud wasps because
That's
they
not
use
even
wet mud to
funny.
make their nests. And right about now, I'm wishing I had kept a piece of those butterflies, but they didn't because butterflies are one of their main prey. And the bait would have made for a great
Also-
distraction. They have super...
Guys, if you don't know, when I was younger, I had a fear of butterflies. I don't know why.
strong jaws that they use for biting and cutting, and the female wasp carries a stinger that they can use over and over. It's not like a bee where they poof, they sting you and then they die. Nope, they can use it over and over. The only thing we've got going for us is that they are loud, if we successfully distract them with nest. Somehow, this crazy redhead is not happy with that because she is attention. Because Mutsumi is stealing all the attention, which she should, because she's smart, and shows us that she's the character that we want to get dead. They arrive at what looks like a village, and they find out that these houses have become nests for the killer wasps. And they're about to seriously regret this decision. Okay, this girl clearly knows what she's talking about, so maybe we should just follow her, and if I'm on this island, I'm not letting her out of my sight. Remember, high on the totem pole of keep her on my friends list. Anyways, her knowledge can help us survive until we get some real help. And stay away from the crazy redhead. The crazy redhead is making a big mistake by complaining so loudly. Right now, we need to listen to Mutsumi and use her as a resource. She's like a prophet sent from God out of the heavens. The group walks into the nest and find their friends being eaten alive by gigantic larvae. And the larvae are releasing a pleasure chemical to keep their friends from escaping. Man, this is dirty. These three start beating the larvae to bits. They run out of the house, and Mutsumi here is hoping they'll go to save her friend. But the rest of the group wants to leave her for dead. As they're about to leave, another murder wasp appears. Oh great, another one. Carrying a friend of this delinquent here. He runs after it and almost ends up getting killed. Well, these attract the attention of the bugs, and we will be able to run away. The group walks slowly through the path until they meet a teacher who's already infested with ticks. In order to save the entire group, our girl Mutsumi pushes the teacher and the ticks attack her. Mutsumi and the others manage to get out of the woods. That night, Mutsumi tells the girls to submerge themselves in the spring water. This will make the ticks leave the body because they need oxygen to survive. This Mutsumi is a real wonder. She cries every time she kills a bug, and yet she has no remorse for killing another human being. I would reconsider my priorities, but I'm definitely not getting on her bad side. Getting in the water is one of the safest things these girls could have done. I would also check my body afterwards to make sure that the ticks are all gone from my body. If they're not, I'm getting back into the water for as long as it takes. But they're nowhere near safe. Well, these two are getting distracted. Big trouble is coming for this guy. Something's entered his body, and it's wriggling through his veins, and it's about to make the situation a whole lot worse. These two are too busy to notice what's going on. If it's me, I'm leaving this guy behind. He's already caused enough drama in the group, and he's not even conscious. We don't have the tools to remove the parasite, and there's no point in putting everyone in danger just to save one man. After getting dry and doing the dirty, the people finally arrive at the hospital area. Mutsumi doesn't hear any creatures, and the group is relieved. Me too. This geeky guy right here has found a very interesting room. There's a working computer system in this room, which means that they should be able to contact someone outside of this island. He mentions that there's no connection, but that's fixable. The generator still works, and we can control the lighting with the computers. The plane that these high schoolers were on crashed on this specific to make it look like caterpillars. This attracts the attention of birds, who eat the snails and the parasite. If it's me, I'm taking this can of tuna and smashing it on the guy's head. We cannot allow him to get outside because he'll put us all in danger. If I use the generator energy only for this, the battery's going to last long enough to get help. Mutsumi here and the delinquent guy quickly give the saline solution to their unconscious friend and wait for a reaction. While these guys are busy focusing on Chitose, they don't notice that this parasite is starting to move on this guy's forehead. Suddenly, the guy they saved starts moving around. The parasite that entered his body has taken over control and he's gone mad. Oh, and did I mention? The guy's eyeballs are bulging out. And now it's too late to get the parasite out of him. This is a green-banded brute sac, and it's known for feeding off of its host. It's usually found in snails, and it invades their antenna, changing their colors to make it look like caterpillars. This attracts the attention of birds, who eat the snails and the parasite. If it's me, I'm taking this can of tuna and smashing it on the guy's head. We cannot allow him to get outside because he'll put us all in danger. There's no hope for this guy, and we quickly have to decide how to get rid of him. If it's me, I'm getting the geeky guy to bring me a wire from the computer room, then I'm using it to choke the out of this guy. This guy runs outside and climbs the light pole like a frickin' Spider-Man. He's calling the attention of another giant bug, and right on time, this creepy Dobson fly comes flying in. Okay, we know that this hospital is located close to a lake, which happens to be where Dobson flies live. Most of them are found in flowing rivers and close to lakes and hiding among rocks. Just like every other fly, this creepy bug is attracted to lights. Dobson flies have short legs and 4 huge wings. They also have really long antennas that they use to sense their prey. Since they're nocturnal animals, they rely on their antennas to hunt rations. I would form the foil into a U shape and go outside. I would put the drenched shirt on the floor and set it on fire by placing the foil on the battery's positive and negative terminals. Mutsumi tells them to go back inside, but they're not listening. As the redhead pulls the delinquent away, the bug flies straight into Parasite Guy and kills him. The monster fly then comes after the rest of the group. Alright, Parasite Guy is dead. Good. and we need to run fast. The door is not too far away, which means that we can reach it in time to shut the bug out. We already know it's attracted to lights, so I would tell the geeky guy to shut the whole building down. If it's dark and we sit still, the bug won't be able to sense or see us, and will leave us all alone, and hopefully we all live. The group start running back to the building, but the redhead and the delinquent lock everyone outside with the excuse that they may be infected as well. Oh, now that's a move, and a stupid one too. These two can't survive on their own. They're not strong enough and smart enough. They need our resident expert Mutsumi to help them out, and if it's me, I'm letting them in. If they're so scared about these three being infected, they can easily tie them up and make sure they can't escape. But since they have no intention of doing so, we need to find a way to break in. The glass on this door is not very thick, which means we can break it with a sharp object. Ayumi here has already found a rock, and I know what you're thinking, but banging it that way is not very effective. I would aim at the hinges and the corners of the door, because they're the weakest part and easiest to break. The best way to hit this glass is to take the pointy part of the rock, take a couple of steps back, and run with full force on the door. This will create a small crack that I can widen by banging on it more. But this would create another issue, because now the bug can enter the building. Thankfully, there's plenty of rooms that we can lock ourselves in, and we have enough water to survive. This bug will eventually get tired of looking for us, and will eventually abandon the building. These girls are freaking out. This bug is going to kill them any minute now, and I'm kind of like, yes, just get it over with. Unexpectedly, this geeky guy shows up and opens the door just as they're about to get murdered. Good for them. He's tied up these two losers and is now cooperating with the rest of the group. It's time to kill this creepy bug, but Sumi figures out a way to outsmart
so
it. She then catches the attention of the bug with a sound device and makes it come all the way to the pole. As soon as the fly is close enough, she pulls the curtains to reveal that the light has been turned on. The bug immediately flies towards the light. When it arrives, Mutsumi signals the rest of the group. The geeky guy blasts the generator power on the pole, burning the Dobson flat to ashes.
Yeah!
Yes, that was very satisfying. Later, the group goes back to the hospital where they collect all the rations. This girl, Chitose, is declared leader, and they decide to stay in the building until help arrives. Okay, this is so weird. Chitose has literally, been MIA for most of it. But what do you think? How would you beat the island of giant insects?
Wow, that was intense.
Hey guys, Griffin here from How to Beat Anime. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's it for the video. So that's it. That was how to beat every killer bug in the island of giant ants. So bye guys.